Like a credit card, it's fun until you get the bill. We want to have enough money before we start investing. Now, here are 4 ways that we together can work on breaking this cycle of how many times have you had a great idea, especially in bed. Mine tend to come to me in bed. And you're really excited about it. In your head, you structured out how precisely it's going to work. It's going to be great. And then you write it down, and in the morning, you feel less excited about it, or perhaps you've forgotten parts of it. Or you actually remember it, you've written it down, you leave it for a few days, you come back, and all of those thoughts come flooding in as to, well, it's not really interesting, or someone's done it before, and guess what happens? It ends up in your bin of great ideas. Over time, I have discovered and experienced a very interesting phenomenon that, even though it's bad, it keeps perpetuating itself. And I'm pretty sure you can relate to this. It's that thing that happens when more and more time passes between ideation, i.e. getting a good idea, and execution. The more time passes, the more unlikely it is for you to actually get that thing done. I cannot tell you how many great ideas I've had or how many YouTube videos I've actually filmed, and sometimes they never get to see the light of day. And it's what happens when we procrastinate, and with time, procrastination allows doubt to creep in. The longer you leave it to get something done, the harder it becomes to actually get that thing done, because so many thoughts, so many doubts start to creep in. The thoughts of imperfection, or thoughts that people just won't find it interesting enough to perhaps buy that product or that service, or they just won't care. In the past, I have used the word try a lot. I'll try to go out more. I'll try to spend less. I will try to make that YouTube video. I will try. And this is one phrase that we tend to use or throw around unconsciously. And it's one phrase that I personally am working on getting out of my vocabulary this year. The challenge with saying that you will try to do something is that even when you have put in no effort, zero effort into actually getting that thing done, the thought of trying makes you satisfied. It actually makes you feel like you've accomplished something when you've done absolutely nothing. We can say to ourselves, well, at least I tried. I'll try again tomorrow. And that becomes a revolving cycle of trying and not actually doing. Procrastination is like a credit card. It's fun until you get the bill. Now, there's so many reasons that people tend to put off what they know needs to be done. And I can relate to some of them. And I would love to hear your thoughts as to why you think that you put things off when you know they need to be done. And these reasons can include things like being bored, being frustrated, it's a difficult task, there's no structure, there's no intrinsic reward, or just fear. Speaking for myself, fear is the number one reason I tend to procrastinate. The second thing for me is ambiguity. When a task or project has no structure, I struggle to actually get it started. The act of doing and getting things done really and truly does start with the mind and the words we say to ourselves, which gradually we start to believe, and these words start to manifest themselves into actual actions. So therefore, after we've said those words to ourselves, after we start believing it, we need to actually conjure up energy, get up and do. And these are actually spiritual laws. And even the Bible says, if you're believing for something to happen, you have faith in something happening, and you do nothing towards attaining that thing, you're wasting your time. But on the flip side of that, a huge reason why many of us, including myself, procrastinate is actually a positive one. It's striving for perfection. We want things to be in a certain way before we get started. We want to have enough money before we start investing. We want to meet that individual before we start looking after ourselves. We want the perfect camera before we start filming. It's typically a positive reason. I'm gradually learning that done is better than perfect. Because I'm learning that perfect really doesn't exist, and that is a bitter pill to swallow. Now, if you are someone, for example, who makes content online, keep making content. Even if it's not perfect in your eyes. Filming a video, editing it, getting it posted is a lot better than trying to make that one video perfect. And the irony I found is that when you spend so much time trying to perfect a YouTube video, you know, the bells and whistles, that video usually doesn't get seen. As if you just calmed down, put the message out there, and just posted the video. Now, here are 4 ways that we together can work on breaking this cycle of procrastination. Number 1 is to prioritize our tasks. I am starting to schedule my most difficult tasks on Mondays. And that is because typically I've had Saturdays and some of Sunday to get some rest. And at least that way, 80% of it is done on Monday. In 2025, I decided to adopt the Eisenhower Matrix, which is a time management tool that helps you prioritize your tasks according to urgency and importance. Number 2, eliminate distractions. So every Saturday, I have started turning off my TV, my phones, any distractions from 9 a.m. till about 12. Those 3 hours that are carved out helps me to prep for the weekend, but not only that, to prep for the upcoming week as well. Number 3 is to schedule a no work day. Now, this is a very difficult one, but it's something that I will not try. I will do this year. And I'm currently considering perhaps Tuesdays or Wednesdays as my no work day. Number 4 is to have a written daily to-do list. I tend to work better when there is structure, when I can actually see what needs to be done in order of priority. Now, it doesn't mean that I will get 100% of my tasks done, but it's a lot better than having ideas floating in my mind and not knowing which comes first. This way, at least if I get 80% of my work done, I am satisfied. And it also helps to eliminate the feeling of being overwhelmed. It's a new year, and I realize that January is typically the most positive and productive month of the year for a lot of people. And sadly, from many years of experience, it tends to go downhill from there. But this year, we can do it differently. The operating phrase being, do it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.